Hello, welcome to HBM's Crypto-Corner for Wednesday, May 8th, 2019. We have a few things to talk about, so let's get started. The Sasquatch Museum, Explore the Mystery of Bigfoot. That's the museum in Cherry Log, Georgia, or Blue Ridge. And David Bakura, they misspell his last name as Bakura. He is going to be one of the speakers at the upcoming Alabama Bigfoot Conference in October. I just found that out, and I'm looking forward to meeting David. I really am. And this is going to be pretty exciting. But the museum is doing pretty well, apparently, there in Cherry Log or Blue Ridge, Georgia. And I mean, it has everything you could ever want, I suppose, as far as if you're into Bigfoot, that's definitely a place you want to go and check out. I've heard so many great things about the museum. Never been there, but I've heard so many great things about it. So, I recommend checking it out. The Show Me State. Will it show us a Bigfoot? Apparently, there are 147 reports of sightings in the Show Me State of Missouri. Of course, Lyle Blackburn's recent book, Momo, is all about the Missouri Monster. And in fact, Lyle will be one of the speakers also at the Alabama Bigfoot Conference. And by the way, that tally or statistic is from the BFRO, 147 reports. An individual named Carter Bushart, who is with the BFRO, is an investigator there in Missouri. So, I mean, this is very cool. And it's very interesting that we have these reports out of, well, it's not surprising though. It's interesting, but it's not surprising. Because you have the Ozarks, and you have other mountain ranges as well. But the Ozarks are the main mountain range. And that's in southwestern Missouri. From the website Business Line, Why the Yeti, Bigfoot, and Nessie Myths Live On. I mean, they call them myths, and they sound skeptical, but, I mean, I guess that's their right. I guess it's their right to say that, to be skeptical of this stuff. Before I had my sighting, I was skeptical. But I was hopeful that these creatures did exist. I was interested, but I didn't want to be taken in, let's just say. And scientific evidence is sparse, so that's true. I mean, to a certain degree, but John Bennernagel said that it's not that science is looking into this and missing evidence. Science is looking the other way. Scientists just don't want to hear about this stuff. But scientists are supposed to be about the spirit of exploration. Scientists are supposed to be about looking into things thoroughly. And, these so-called scientists don't seem to be looking into it thoroughly. They don't seem to be working in the spirit of exploration. I mean, they're perfectly within their rights to do that, obviously, but still, It seems most of them would like nothing more than to just sit on their well-padded rear ends and behind their desks and pass judgment on what's real and what isn't. But, science is not always correct. Science has occasionally been wrong. And they are wrong about Sasquatch, and they're wrong about other cryptids as well. And if the day ever comes that one of these cryptids is brought out from the pages of mythology into the cold light of reality, then there's going to be a lot of crow eaten. And finally, Newsweek magazine has an article about the Yeti based on some tracks that were found just last week by the Indian Army Mountaineering group. Now, interestingly enough, the footprints were 32 by 15 inches. Could that possibly be a large Yeti? Or could this be someone with a large set of snowshoes? But interestingly enough, the tracks go in a single file line. Now, anybody who knows anything about Sasquatch, there's a photo in one of John Green's books. It's either On the Track of the Sasquatch or Year of the Sasquatch, which has comparison photos with human footprints, bear footprints, and Sasquatch footprints. Human and bear footprints are offset. In other words, they do not walk in a straight line like they're walking pigeon-toed. The Sasquatch track line had that exact feature, where it was walking in a straight line, but almost walking like it was pigeon-toed. Now, these alleged Yeti footprints also walk in a straight line, in a single file line. They're not offset to one side or the other. They're in a single file, straight line. Could it possibly be a very large Yeti? There are so many things that we just don't know about. I mean, could there possibly be a very large Yeti up there in the Himalayas? Would it be a surprise? Would it be a shock? I personally don't think it would be. And I think that a creature like that could thrive in an environment like that. Because, keep in mind, they're not living up in the snow fields and the ice fields. They're living down in the temperate valleys, where there's plenty of food, plenty of water, and plenty of cover. So, a large creature like this being seen only rarely and no remains being found, to me, is not all that surprising. But it'll be interesting to see if there's any other track finds to correlate with this particular finding of tracks. It actually happened on April 9th, apparently. But it wasn't reported until early last week, when we didn't have a show, when I didn't have a show. So, some very fascinating stuff going on here. I guess the final bit of news is the Ohio Bigfoot Conference this past weekend seemed to have gone pretty well, as did the International Cryptozoology Conference up there in Portland, Maine, and Creekfoot. So I'm very glad that all those events went well, and that everybody had a great time. I'm going to try and make the Ohio Bigfoot Conference next year. I'm going to try and make it back, because I missed it this year. And from what I understand, it was a pretty good time. Kevin Morrison, he put up several videos sort of documenting little parts of the weekend, which I thought was pretty cool. And thank you, Kevin, if you ever watch this, if you ever see this video, thank you very much for documenting for us. Now, one cool thing that was at the Ohio Bigfoot Conference was this large replica, a large Bigfoot replica made by Bo Bruns, a guy named Bo Bruns. Very talented guy. I saw the videos of it. I'm sure it looks better in person than it does on video. But it looks amazing. It's large. It's dark brown to black colored. The face is really accurate to what some people have seen. Dave Groves, who had one of the best daylight sightings ever, commented, he said, "That's almost what I saw." There were a few differences in the face, but that's what he said. He said there were some differences in the face a little bit, but other than that, it was basically what he saw in 2010 in the Allegheny National Forest. So to have a witness kind of get a little bit of a shock and a chill just from seeing something like that, that's pretty interesting. And also, he had a Bo Bruns had a bust, a large bust. And this was all life-size, by the way. This stuff was life-size. A large life-size bust of a Yeti with white hair. It looked pretty cool, too. And those were in the lobby of the lodge at Salt Fork State Park. And I think there was supposed to be a raffle for both items. I'll tell you what, whoever took those home, they better have some space in their house. And that's a conversation piece right there. It's like, hey, what's this? You have this large, 7 to 8 foot tall, 7 to 8 foot tall mock-up of a Sasquatch in your house. That's your guard squatch. Yeah. You know how some people it's your watch squatch. Instead of your watch bear, like some people get a large copy of a bear. A large, taxidermied bear, a taxidermied mock-up of a Sasquatch. That'd be interesting. I don't think I could fit it in my house. No, my place is too small. I have to find a really good space for it. And just imagine the man hours it took just to put that together. Matter of fact, let's see. I bet you I could find a picture of it on Facebook. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, this is Kevin Morrison. This is the Sasquatch model I was talking about, the mock-up. I mean, look at that thing. Look at it. Look how big it is. Look how massive it is compared to Kevin. Look at that. Man, Bo Bruns did a great job on that. He did. He did a tremendous job on that mock-up, that model. Yeah. Looks good. Looks amazing. I mean, look at that. I don't know what he made the hair out of, but he could have gone out and gotten some false hair from beauty shops and stuff like that. Don't know what he made the hair. Don't know what he did for the hair. That is really cool. See, I told you. This thing is massive. That I imagine that's how meeting a real Sasquatch would be. Running into a real Sasquatch. Well, I mean, I saw one that was about maybe that height, maybe a little bit taller. No, I'd say about that height. Maybe a little bit shorter, but still. The one that I saw towered over my car. The car that I was driving. That's how big it was. It was huge. Look at that. That is amazing. That is the coolest. I mean, that is just amazing. There's not enough adjectives to describe how cool this is. Bo Bruns did a great job on that. And there were people posing, of course, with it all weekend long. Naturally. I would too if I was there. If I were there, I would have posed with it too. Look at the shoulders. Look at the width of the shoulders. I mean, this is the closest you could get to a real Sasquatch, and actually live to tell the tale. That is tremendous. That is just great, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that is going to do it for this week. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to actually include a link to this photo, to Kevin's photo, so y'all can check it out for yourselves. But there you go. So anyway, until next week, my friends, y'all be good or be good at it. This has been HBM's Crypto Corner.